All right, so let's go from group to group. Give us one bullet at a time. Just don't repeat. If what another group has said. So why don't you guys lead us off?
Go to where Jesus tells you to go.
Go where Jesus tells you to go. You guys?
No, baptize.
Baptize. Go baptize.
We're going to go with a little bit more of an indirect one. We kind of saw him saying, be confident in the authority.
Okay.
Gives you and
Yep.
know that he's with you. So just be confident.
Especially when you doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good one.
It started with worship.
Started with worship. Okay. They worshipped him. Yeah.
Go and make a separate element. So first you go, you take the initiative, and then you go and make.
Go show up where Jesus is, and then you go and make. Very good. Very good. A point that hasn't been made yet.
Teach obedience.
Teach obedience. All right. Not just knowledge. But you guys? Is there any point that hasn't been made yet?
Use Jesus' power.
Use Jesus' power. Any other points?
One more point about the confidence. Another dimension is that I am with you always, so the presence of Jesus.
Yeah.
Shalom, peace with us.
Yep. Always, yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
just to build on that, I think we view that as an encouragement, right? He gave an encouragement. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Any other points?
Just recognizing that Jesus' authority is beyond heaven, but also on this earth. Right? And that whole comment that he's with us always is just to reiterate.
Yeah.
That this is not by our own power, it's by the power of Christ within us.
Yes. So as we look at, those are all great points you guys extracted out of that passage. As we look at that, and if you just look at this passage, what does it mean to be a disciple of Jesus? If you just look at this passage. A disciple of Jesus. Is proactive. A disciple of Jesus shows up when Jesus called him. A disciple of Jesus goes even if there's some doubts. You don't have to. A disciple of Jesus go and make disciples. A disciple of Jesus baptize people. A disciple of Jesus teach others to obey every commandment Jesus gave them, which includes this one. So a disciple of Jesus not only makes disciples. Does this passage tell us to make disciples? True or false?
True.
True?
It's one of the things it teaches.
I beg to say it's false. I know it's a little semantics. This passage really tells us not to make disciples, but make disciples who make disciples who make disciples. So it's really disciple makers. Because the disciple of Jesus teach them to obey every commandment Jesus gave us, which includes this disciple. So I think our mindset is not just, make disciples, but then we also help them to make disciples, who help those to make disciples.
And Timothy was the greatest model.
Timothy, absolutely. Timothy 2:2. We're actually going to look at that next time. And a disciple of Jesus also submits under the authority of Jesus. Disciple of Jesus follow Jesus into the Great Commission, into communities, and depends on His power, like you said, and His guidance. Cool. How much time do we have?
Well, we got to be out of here at 2.
At 2, okay. I think we're good. I think I can have us finish early then.
Look, we normally end at 8:15, 8:20.
Okay.
If guys need to leave at 8:15, 8:20,
Probably fine, but
Okay.
maybe a hard stop at 8:30. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
30 minutes?
For sure. Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit and just see, is there biblical examples of all these things happening? Especially disciples making disciples, teaching to obey and all of that. So I think let's look at Acts 19. Let me set this up real quick because we're not going to look at the whole passage. It's actually a good passage to read. So Paul is going to Ephesus. As he got there, he found 12 guys. There was a group of 12 men. He started having spiritual conversations with them, found out that these guys had some understanding of God. Actually, they've been baptized in the baptism of John the Baptist, but they didn't know nothing about Jesus. So Paul started sharing Jesus with them, and God obviously moved their hearts, and they're like, okay, we're in. We want to be a disciple of Jesus. We want to get baptized, and Paul baptized them. But then Paul didn't just leave them. It's like, okay, I'm off to the next. He's like, no. What he did was, he entered the synagogue and spoke boldly there for 3 months. This is the synagogue that these guys were part of. Arguing persuasively about the kingdom of God. Now, you know what happens when Paul teaches in the synagogue for 3 months. Some of them became obstinate. They refused to believe and publicly maligned the way. So Paul left them. He took the disciples with him and had discussions daily in the lecture hall of Tyrannus. This went on for 2 years, so that all the Jews and Greeks who lived in the province of Asia heard the word of the Lord. 2 years. Old Roman census tell us that that's roughly all the Jews and Greeks. That's about 15 million people. In 2 years, 15 million people heard the word of the Lord. How is that possible? Yeah. Facebook, yeah. You got a podcast, all these subscribers. I don't think the whole of Tyrannus, I mean, if Paul taught them, it's like something like 27,000 each day for every day a week. 20,500. If his team did, that's like 1,700 every day. So that probably didn't happen either. I believe it went viral, old school. It just went, kind of like what Dustin Challenge does. These folks took it out. God started showing up. Miracles start taking place. And even if Jesus told people, don't tell anyone, when you've experienced God, you can't help yourself. And it started to go viral, word of mouth. So much so that 15 million people in 2 years heard the word of the Lord. Yes, sir?
Yeah, so how did you come up with the number 15 million?
Roman census. The Romans took census during that time. And some scholars that has more time than I have come up with that number.
Probably Josephus.
What's that?
Probably Josephus.
Probably Josephus, yeah. Whoever that is. So, even if it's 10 million, it's still pretty impressive. So, that's pretty extreme numbers. I want us to look at, a video. Okay, let's bring it back to Silicon Valley. And what does that look like? If we take it a little slower, but still with a mindset of multiplication. I want to show this quick video.